Right now I'm cutting across sun-baked Southern California on my way to a secret location. This is a location I used to visit when I was searching for obscure gaming deals and was willing to risk bodily harm. At an ever-shifting, undisclosed location, dozens of vendors and hundreds of consumers come together to exchange product for cash at this secretive swap meet. Although I never experienced trouble here, I've heard eyewitness accounts of people being shanghaied in broad daylight. So when you're in here with me, be cool. Okay, let's go shopping. They've got everything under the sun. They've got aquariums, they've got a Star Wars droid, they've got a X-Files action figure. This one right here, the guy wanted $9 for. I thought that was a little steep, so you know, another sucker's born every minute, but not me. They've got all kinds of other stuff. They've got this glow-in-the-dark Ouija board. Look what they've got right here, big Zengis slots. This thing's pretty cool and seems like a pretty good price, but there's no way of me verifying if it works. Look at this right here. This pigeon almost hits me right in the head. It's a really kind of crazy place to walk around at. Okay, but none of this is what we came here for. We came here for this. Games upon games under the blazing sun, and I'm looking for a deal. The only problem is I'm not finding any at the first few booths I come to. I'm finding lots and lots of games, shrink-wrapped and even brand new, many of them. The problem is the prices really aren't that good. There's not a lot of deals here, not a lot of money to be saved. These guys are really doing a low-rent retail thing, so I gotta keep moving and looking for a better deal. And then there's these kind of places. This kind of place is so intense we couldn't even bring the camera inside. You gotta kind of be real cool. They're selling all kinds of pirated software, homemade peripherals, real black market kind of stuff. You gotta really watch your back under a tent like this. They had some very unique items, but unfortunately none of them were worth buying, so I sort of just kept moving. There's got to be something somewhere here, a deal I can find, and I'm gonna sniff it out. And then look at what I found here, these giant bundles of games all packaged together, and you get some strange ones too. At first I thought this was going to be some kind of beautiful bulk deal. This is what I'm looking for, buy a package of games for a low price. Unfortunately what I found out is they tape together giant cubes of games in order to prevent people from shoplifting. Individually, all these games are nearly full price. It was really disappointing. So unfortunately none of it was for me. Making your way around a few twists and turns to the back of the swap meet and you find something pretty incredible. Over here they've got this woman in this sort of caged enclosure performing outside. Now this can't be an easy venue to perform at, but I gotta say, this lady's killing it. Sounds really great. Take a listen. Really nice stuff. Okay, so now I'm really looking for a deal. This is what I have to do. I have to start digging through boxes and bins, and now I finally start to hit pay dirt. We got a VHS of Major League 2 for 95 cents. And this is where I found it. In the middle of this field of otherwise worthless junk, and beneath this stack of comics is the title I would purchase. Okay, so the game I decided to take a risk on is Test Drive V Rally for the Sega Dreamcast, okay? And you saw how it was in there. It was pretty cutthroat. All the game vendors knew exactly what they had, exactly what it was worth, and they weren't looking to cut me any kind of deal. So it kind of reminded me of what a GameStop would be like if it were set in the Mad Max universe. Okay, so the reason I chose this title is because for several years as a teenager, I was seriously interested in becoming a professional rally car race driver. Ultimately, my Volvo station wagon wasn't up for the ride, but it left me with a serious passion for rally racing video games. According to the features listed on the back, this looks like it's pretty legit. A powerful track editor and generator, real-time damage, these are all the kinds of features I expect to find in a fully formed racing game. Also, it's Dreamcast, baby, the lost console that arrived before its time and died too young. Let's roll the dice on a title I've never tried before. 3, 2, 1, go! Okay, so here we go with a rolling start, the best way to start. And what we have here is a really pretty looking and smooth moving racing game. This is one of the things Sega was known for in the 90s. Now, one of the first things I do in any game that's based on constant motion is this. I stop. Just sort of take things in from this point of view. As you can see, things are pretty peaceful. I mean, the clouds aren't even moving. You could be here all day. There's something so intense about a good rally racing game. But what makes a good rally racer? It's all about total trust in the person sitting next to you. You are partners riding along together in this mechanical racehorse, requiring split decisions to be made in unison. It's a sort of analog Jaeger situation.
Medium line, very low, tighten.
And it's all about listening to his directions and directing the vehicle accordingly, despite what you may think you see on the road ahead. So right up here, I ignore my direct orders so that I can explore my boundaries. And as you can see in Test Drive V-Rally 2, they're keeping things pretty tight. It looks like there's this kind of mud embankment, which could be really cool as a parallel track option, but for some reason it's completely inaccessible due to a force field. As I'm romping through the countryside like a bat out of hell, look at how the countrymen scatter. Anytime that I take a turn a bit tight or lose control, the crowds of spectators flee. It's a neat little detail they put in.
Congratulations! You finished first!
Now check out this award ceremony they host for you. I'm pretty sure it's on a movie backlot because you can tell those buildings in the background are just facades. I love this part because I'm a huge fan of Universal Studios, Warner Brothers Studios, you name it. And check out this camera replay system. This is a feature we take for granted now, but when Test Drive V-Rally 2 came out, it was still evolving. This game has some real beautiful camera work. Composition is thoughtful. Just look at this sweeping shot. The last feature I wanted to mention about this game, but certainly not the least noteworthy, is the inclusion of a level editor. This is a somewhat basic yet completely functional editor, which is the kind of thing that, for a brief period of time, you might only find in a Dreamcast game. And it was incredible. To play it today is a nice novelty. As you can see, you are able to adjust the perimeter shape of your track and as well as the elevation changes, which is very cool. Look at this, I'm gonna make like a hairy peak you can jump off of, then dive into this deep chasm. Should be cool. Fire up the level and test it out. And you can easily swap out weather and location skins without altering your track shape. We'll go with snow to honor Mother Winter. Here we go, my big jump. Wasn't as hairy as I expected. When I was a kid growing up, I had a good friend who had a Dreamcast, and we had hours of fun playing some of their legendary titles. But I recall my friend being frustrated by an overall lack of solid games. But at that time, we were limited to what the local Blockbuster video store purchased and made available. Now that we're all living in the future, it's really fun to search around and discover games you had no idea existed. Test Drive V-Rally 2, for me, is one of those. But speed can kill your wallet. So although I've found a game I enjoy, ultimately my goal is to make a profit to be able to purchase the next title. So I've decided to once again pay a visit to my guy and find out what it's worth. Well, thank you for seeing me again. This is a little something I dug up on a desert trek to a swap meet.
Tasty little treat.
I'm hoping I can get something out of it.
Well, what I can tell you is that this is the Sega Dreamcast Test Drive V-Rally version. One of 3 in a series. Looks like we got everything in here.
Yep.
Nice disc. Original artwork in the case.
Yeah.
Got a little airbrush effect in the background with the mountains and the clouds. All adds to the value. Original case, no scratches, no cracks.
Yep.
And you got the instruction book. You almost never find the instruction manual in pristine condition, no dog ears. This adds great value to the game. Excellent. You can get top dollar for this.
What are we talking?
About 16 bucks.
Beautiful, I love it. $16, that means I'll make a nice profit on this.
There is a problem.
Okay.
This game came out on many systems with a different name every single time. It came out on PlayStation in Europe as V-Rally 2. In North America, it was known as Need for Speed V-Rally 2. Then there was a Windows version in Europe, V-Rally 2 Expert Edition. This is the American Sega Dreamcast version. Due to all the titles that this one game had, it led to a lot of confusion among the public on which game was what. And weren't sure what they were really buying. So for that reason, it is not all that well known. So it might take a while to sell. It is an excellent game. People do like it. I have a consignment deal I can offer you.
How exactly would that work?
We put it up for sale.
Okay.
When and if it sells, I'd then send you a check for half the profit.
In this case, it would be
About $8.
$8. Check in the mail when it sells.
If it sells.
Well, I like the $8. That means I'd be making a healthy profit on my investment. But the check in the mail part sounds like it could take a while. I mean, how quickly do you think you could sell this game?
Could be a while.
Is there any way you could give me any sort of advance today on my half of the future profit?
Cash advance today?
Yeah.
I'd have to take a larger cut of the profits.
What are we talking?
I can give you $6 right out the door right now.
Well, look, I spent $7 on it, so that means I would be taking a loss on my investment, but I'd be recouping about 90% of what my original investment was. So I'm not really taking that big of a loss, and I would have cash today, keep my cash flow going. I'm gonna take the money and run today.
Good deal.